Welcome to Numb Bills Fan Podcast, episode number 224. I'm your dingbat at the helm, David Palermo, and alongside Adam Deacon.
Yeah.
So, we're here. It's been a minute. And as always, subscribe
a minute. It's been a hot minute, dog.
Yeah, way more than a minute. A lot of minutes. A lot of weeks.
A New York minute. Or wait, is that a short minute? That's a short minute. It's been a long minute.
It's been a lot of minute. When that term minute was used as a long time for the first time, I thought in the 90s, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Just like that term in the West, it was, oh, that's bad. Oh, that's so bad. It's like, what do you mean that's bad? Oh, that's good, bad. It's like, anyways, so.
We didn't mean to bail on you guys. I mean, we did the draft show, night one. If you didn't catch it, it was on our Facebook, facebook.com, numbillsfan. Go over there, give us a follow. We really love it when you do that. You know, we did the draft show. We hopped on live. Mike and Jeff were over. And we kind of took a couple weeks off. So sue us. No, we've had a lot of really good stuff going on in the background. We were getting ready to launch a new version of numbillsfan.com, the number one spot to find our latest content. Duh.
Yeah. And also, any social media platform you're on, there will be something. Twitter's the most active, like a news cycle for quick news, but especially during the season and like being culture, like there, boots on the ground at the stadium, who's listening to the radio, like what's the talk of the town, like always check our Instagram because it's going to be like an explosion dropped on it. So also tune in on iTunes and Spotify. Make sure you do that and wherever else you find your podcast, but especially Spotify. These Spotify fans out there, so you can get everything in one-stop shop. You can get your Zeppelin and your Spotify.
Yep, Zeppelin, Numbills fan, Mariah Carey.
Whatever you're into, I ain't gonna judge. So, as always, thank you to Punch Rock Sports for supporting us, especially the great Sam Tripoli. So thank you for the continued push to keep going. So
pick up where we left off, the draft.
Yeah, pretty much the draft. I gotta say, as per usual, my stance has been it's 2019 and we're still filling in holes from the talent that was depleted off the roster. You know what I mean? A lot of starters traded. I did not like Cordy Len being traded. I didn't like a lot of these guys being traded. Because then they weren't
not trusting that process.
Well, it was at the time just like,
yo, it's okay to be skeptical. You don't have to get defensive. Easy.
It just took us years to actually develop a roster with some kind of depth and have a bunch of solid players, and years to actually have contract situations. And we don't have the depth, or I should say the starters, the impact players, retooled right away. And now the Bills are hitting the ground running in OTAs, and we'll dive into the injuries and everything to the players if you heard Croft, Morris, Beasley. So we'll get into that later as a little teaser. But I got to say, overall with the draft, I was pretty satisfied, and they're still filling in those holes from prior. Defensive tackle Ed Oliver, it was a household name around the country to the Bills. I really thought that he would be gone and the Bills would take Wilkins from Clemson. And I felt like he was a more McDermott guy. Anything Wilkins and Ed Oliver, size-wise and everything. So I was really kind of not shocked, but Ed Oliver, when you hear more about how much they liked McDermott and vice versa,
it feels like a steal at 9. I mean, not like a huge steal, not like we grabbed him in the third round, but I mean, it feels like we got way over average value on that pick. Like, I was expecting him to be gone 5th or 6th off the board, probably. You know what I mean?
Right.
He came here, which like, not only do we get like what's a really excellent player, but it's a position where we really had like a big gap to fill with Kyle Williams retiring. So the timing was great. You couldn't have like scripted it better if you wanted to. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing is he's playing a lot of homage to Kyle Williams. What I like about him He's honest. He's like, I haven't watched any tape of Kyle Williams. I never seen the man play, and I love that he's not giving us some phony bullshit. Because as your resident bullshit seekers of Buffalo Bills football here, Adam and I,
you can't shit these shitters.
Yeah, that's fucking right. So, I like that the Bills followed up with Cody Ford as a tackle in the second round. That was cool, because but a lot of people forget that like you got to follow the money when it comes to these positions, and Cody Ford is a nice developmental piece, as in, like, he can start on the right side, worst case. That said, I am not one to say that it's easy to flip sides, but Deion Dawkins, all accounts are he did not have a great year last year. That said, my stance on what the players were asked to do the last 2 years of Sean McDermott football on the offensive line was fucking putrid, as well documented every fucking podcast for the last 2 years.
Yeah, I was gonna pound back on that,
and you were gone for a year. New, like
I was about to pound back on that. Like, he had lousy interior support, and like he was the highest graded player on the line, and we've been through it already at least once, probably more.
I've said this 100 times,
and I've only been back for a few episodes.
Let's just say this to all you fans out there who want to get on it. Reuben Brown pointed this shit out in like game 1 of Sean McDermott's first game as head coach, and saying that the offensive line played. That's where it starts. It goes in preseason looked awful. Here it still looks fucking awful. And I'm looking at like what was Deion Dawkins asked to do. And if you look at the lineup, the Bills definitely attacked. I think Sal Capaccio had a stat where the Bills have signed offensive linemen who have combined over 300 games experience. So they're trying to hit the ball, the ground running, as Sal said, to quote Sal Capaccio. He was on WGR with Howard and Jeremy. So I don't want to steal his thunder, but that's really verbatim what he said. So,
and we were kind of talking about this before we started recording, and not to get too far ahead here, but like I found it really interesting that both Cody Ford and Ed Oliver weren't starting in the lineups during these OTA sessions.
Yeah, that's just a limited time because, in a situation with...
no, I don't doubt that they're not going to be starters. But
with Ed Oliver, you have a situation where, hey, watch the reps, this is how we do it. And that's where the Bills fucked up with Josh Allen not having Derek Anderson or somebody like Derek Anderson on the roster. And, your resident...
Which his ass retired since we last talked to y'all. So
yeah, so maybe
y'all, I'm from the country over here. We talking to y'all.
And dude, look how fast the Bills signed him as a fucking extra coach. Oh wait, get it? Because all the fans are like, "Oh yeah, this is the coach on the field.
Yeah,
He's the coach. We should take up a whole roster spot for a coach." No. He needs that mentor. Yeah, okay, dude. Yeah, you know who else needs a spot? Fucking Nathan Peterman. He needs a spot. Anyways, so we'll dive back into the offensive line. We'll get back to that starting lineup. Or do you want to tackle that now while we're on it?
No, we'll come back to it.
So, the Bills followed up with running back Devin Singletary, who on quote-unquote tape, a.k.a. highlights, looks like people catch up to him. That's the only knock. But his vision is fucking sick. His vision is like, to us Bills fans, a Fred Jackson vision. Looks more like a one-cut runner, finds it and fucking hits it hard. And, like touchdown Mike Gillislee a little bit, too.
I see that a
lot of north-south. And the thing is, these 40 times in the NFL are so fucking overrated. They're so overrated. And, I think there's so much opportunity on this roster for Devin Singletary. I'll say it here now. Obviously, LaShawn McCoy's time is limited because one thing that's weird is LaShawn McCoy, I thought about this. I defend McCoy with the fact that he had bad offensive line play in front of him. And then I'm looking at Frank Gore when I want to defend people who want to shit on Frank Gore that he had one of his career best fucking years average running the ball behind one of the biggest abominations of offensive lines in football. So... it's kind of making me think that, like, did McCoy give up? Did he lose it? Was it just that fucking bad? Because in the beginning of the season, I still thought McCoy had it. Like, he still has some moves every game. It's just I think he kind of went into self-preservation mode. And as a professional athlete, I don't blame him, but it's like, if I'm mad over here that all this bullshit's going down, imagine being on the team and being on the inside and actually caring, which, I don't know. Sometimes these players get paid, they don't really give a fuck. And it's corny, but these players gotta love the sport. And it's like, McCoy really let me down last season, dude. I've been like a big McCoy supporter. You too. And I don't know. Just really disappointed, and he's got all the tools. I want to see him catch more balls, and I think Devin Singletary could have a prominent role, but with, the Bills have, TJ Yeldon too, and that's a very good pickup.
Right. I mean, but we got Frank Gore, who's already got age working against him a little bit. He showed up early on this injury report this week too.
Well, he's coming off an injury from last season.
Right. So, I mean, we knew that sort of, but, like, he's not ready to go now. So, like,
I ain't worried about
there's that. Yeah. Jumping back to the draft class here, though, the Bills got down twice in the third round. Behind Devin Singletary, they got tight end Dawson Knox, which I think, honestly, might be one of the most interesting pickups at this point with the the Tyler Kroft injury going down. For those who haven't heard, he broke his foot at practice and had to get surgery. So, I mean, the surgery's over, it's done, and they're estimating that he's out 3 to 4 weeks.
Same foot.
Same foot that was injured last year. I don't know the severity compared to the first time, but I mean, he missed 11 games last year. So, that being said,
Dawson Knox is very interesting because Dawson Knox, you have a case of a guy.
You have a case of a guy with a sweet opportunity, right?
Yeah, well, not even a sweet opportunity, as in, like, he has some of the best receivers in the draft, on his team, and DK Metcalf, and it's like, think about how great it must have been for, like, his opportunity was very limited, but you have a good excuse. You have a guy who's used to receivers catching a lot of ball, like going deep. Like, when you're looking at DK Metcalf, you're just saying, like, go deep. You know what I mean? Like, meaning you would think he can block and also catch the ball at a decent rate. I know it sounds like stupid fundamental bullshit, but, like, for real, like, if you look at his ratings, I would almost say underutilized. And at first I was like, what the fuck, when I see it on Twitter, like, oh, no touchdowns? I was like, oh my God. But then you look at it like, wait, who are the two receivers that are going to get targets before him? So, I don't know. I was actually pretty stoked on it. As in, like, I like when they fill needs. I like mid-round draft picks. Those are my favorite. And now,
I like dudes that throw themselves through a table when they get drafted by the Buffalo Bills. Dawson Knox came to party, bro.
Wait, he really did that?
You didn't see it?
No.
Yo,
get out of here.
I'll pull this up for you while you keep talking. You keep rattling on.
Okay,
about
so
the draft
linebacker Vosan Joseph. I watched a few highlights of him. I think he's going to be a steal of the draft in the 5th round, as in, like, a steal for the linebacker spot. I'm really stoked on Tremaine Edmonds, but I'm also more stoked on Matt Milano. And Matt Milano is your test case for a guy who could come in, later round pick, do awesome. Same with Nigel Bradham years back. And Preston Brown, 3rd round pick, was serviceable middle linebacker for years. Got himself another contract in Cincinnati. Vosan Joseph, I thought was actually pretty interesting. He's just fast, like, very, like, I feel like McDermott's defense is all fucking speed. Oh my God, get the fuck out of here! Holy shit!
Yo, Dawson Knox is the real deal, bro. The real deal, bro.
Oh my God, dude, that's fucking hilarious. Yeah, so Dawson Knox just jumped through a table. Oh my God.
One more time.
Holy shit.
I honestly am shocked you didn't catch that.
Dude, my head has been on my ass, dude. Like, I've been so fucking busy. I'm still taking in Bill's talk, but like, oh, dude, I can't. How did I miss this?
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, we got a guy with a broken foot, and we got another guy diving through tables. It's not looking great. Nah, I mean, he popped up. He's good. He's not hurt.
No, I feel you. So Vosan Joe, like, that's so funny, man. Talk about heart. Yeah, he's got a lot of heart. So yeah, dude, I'm rooting for him now. So Tyler, best luck, dude. Fucking heal up, man. You're a good dude. You have a lot of opportunity in front of you too, but like, get that foot straightened out. Yeah. So Vosan Joseph, prospect grade of 5.50, chance to become NFL starter, whatever the fuck that means. We're on NFL.com. And I'm not getting much great info here as I'm botching this whole shit. But I do remember him being fast, and I think he's a sneak tip like linebacker. So, and yeah, fast, really, really fucking descriptive. So, who's the next guy I had on the list here? And then I'll do homework on that guy.
Let's just round this out with these late round picks.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and talk right now.
Rattle it off.
So safety,
Round
Jaquan,
6.
Dude, I can't pronounce fucking shit reading this in order.
Jaquan Johnson, safety, round 6.
Pick 6, round 6, pick 8. Number 181, safety, Jaquan Johnson.
Aren't you glad I took notes?
Round 7, pick 11, 225, defensive end, Daryl Johnson.
Never giving you notes again.
Very glad he took notes. Round 7, pick 14, 228. Tight end Tommy Sweeney. Now, Tommy Sweeney is a sleeper.
Yep.
Tommy, you got a lot of opportunity here, dog. I don't know if you read the memo, but Croft hurt his foot. Okay, so next up, undrafted free agents. These are also my favorites. Now, David Sills. Now, here's a common theme: is Tyree Jackson. Really stoked the Bills picked him up. And oh, by the way, check on Bills fan Twitter because like your boy here maybe fucking called that before the draft. Okay, that he'll be a great developmental prospect for the Bills. Same shit. And what's interesting about him, Tyree Jackson, if you look at his stats compared to fucking Josh Allen, and Tyree Jackson actually did it in a conference that matters. Fucking kind of crazy. So, don't be shocked, man, when opportunity presents itself. I don't care what you gave up. These NFL quarterback contracts are fucking cheap. Okay? There's no... Sam Bradford is the last to get that fucking stupid-ass deal. So, now, David Sills, he's a good receiver.
The LeBron James of football, rather.
Why are you calling that?
I don't know. That's what they called him coming out of high school.
Okay. Well... Yeah, but isn't that the dude that was a quarterback and he was actually committed to USC at 13?
Yep, or 14 or something, super young.
Yeah. So he's interesting, but I wouldn't depend on him too much. He's not polished the way you think, like at all. That's the research I've done. So there we go.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on that's kind of over his head, probably. I mean,
well. I'm not saying they can't do it. He's a fucking quarterback, and he's going to find... that means he's smart. He's going to find the gaps, and he's just got to work on route running. You know what I mean? Like, that's really something...
It doesn't always convert right over like that, though. All the smarts in the world doesn't mean you can get it done.
A lot of times they're saying now with receivers, it's taking till, like, year 2, sometimes year 3. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? But I honestly...
I'm not trying to poo-poo on the guy here, but I'm just saying,
No, but he was worthy of a draft pick. That's the thing, is he was really worthy of a draft pick, and it was up in the air between him and the other receiver. I forgot his name. Who was going to go first in the draft? And I think David Sills is a very good pickup. I'm not trying to shit on you, dude, but I'm really stoked on it. So real quick, glossing over that.
I just think with the additions to the wide receiver room and free agency, you got John Brown, you got Cole Beasley on top of the guys that are moving down as our 1 and 2 last year. He's got a lot of guys that are ahead of him in line. And then there's the Duke Williams guy from the CFL, which is maybe something.
The more things I look into is is this: I think these OTAs and stuff are smart because it's a prep of how can you retain information and getting to know the people around you. And I'm just curious to see how well these guys show up prepared. And that's where it shines. You know what I mean? Like, now you're really here in the league. You got to fucking show up. And we saw with guys like Foster last year, he got caught for that shit, for not being a professional. And I'm really looking forward to him because, it's time for him to step the fuck up. Opportunity's right there for him. He came from a premier fucking school, and same school as Julio Jones at Alabama, and he's got everything. He's got speed. He's got measurables. He's not like a wiry dude by any means. So, you look at these measurables on guys. You compare like what we gave up for Sammy Watkins. I'm saying he's Sammy Watkins, but also Sammy Watkins was throwing a lot of fucking screens in college, and then when he gets to the NFL, they don't use him that way until he gets to Andy fucking Reid, Or actually, I take that back. I think it was Sean McVay. I should start using him the right way. So, anyways, early injuries. Let's go to the injuries. You wanted to cover some of this? Or do you want me to fucking... I don't know what to do here.
I mean, we already touched on the Tyler Kroft thing. He's going to miss 3 to 4 months with a broken foot.
Mm-hmm. Now, the core muscle procedure on Cole Beasley and Mitch Morse, that's more like possibly a sports hernia type shit?
I mean,
that's what I was hearing?
Coach McDermott wasn't very specific in his answer regarding that, but yeah, they've had recent off-season surgery and aren't practicing, so that's Cole Beasley
love. We got
Cole
you,
Beasley.
dog. Yeah, it's early. It's nothing to lose your mind over. The Tyler Kroft one is fucked up.
I'd really like Mitch Morse out there, handed the ball to Allen though. Like that's a chemistry that I'm worried about building. But all in due time. That being said, though, the center position, Russell Bodine's coming off a shoulder surgery, so he's not out there either.
I'm good on that. I think, damn, dude.
No, I mean we've seen some different guys get time at that position this week in practice too. Spencer Long started the week out as the starter, and then who'd you tell me was the starter today?
Are you sure Spencer Long? I thought it was.
Yes.
Okay.
And then today it was who'd you tell me? Feliciano.
I thought yesterday it was yeah. So, as I heard this morning, it was Feliciano was the one who was taking the first snaps at center from, and then they had Long at guard on the left side, and then Dawkins at left tackle, and then Spain at right guard, and Tyron Secchi at right tackle. So what I'm trying to tell you is, we were talking in this last month off here with the podcast between us. Follow the money. It's very rare you pay starter money or close to, and you don't at least give them first dibs because these contracts are front loaded. So, that's why a lot of people were shocked. That Cody Ford wasn't the starter on the right side, and I'm not shocked. And the media's going to spin it however they want. McDermott's going to spin it however it needs to. Oh, you got to earn this fight. Yeah, sure you do. Okay.
It's not all bad news though.
Right.
We got Matt Milano back out there. He's a full go.
Yeah. So next up, Jerry Hughes, man. Great to see him re-sign. That dude does a lot more than he gets credit for. Fans just want to look at stats, and if you're shitting on Jerry Hughes, you ain't watching the fucking game. Because that dude has held so much, it's not even funny. I swear, every game that dude has held. And not for nothing, he could have had some better help around him. So, I'm stoked on Jerry Hughes. He got a little extension here for a couple extra years. 23 mil.
I mean, even without what we're going to call great help around him, he still managed to pull down, Pro Football Focus's 7th highest grade for an edge defender. So
I ain't complaining, man. We're huge.
Pay
Jerry
that
Hughes.
Man.
Yo, we're huge Jerry Hughes fans in the house here. I always loved it, and he's a testament of what you can do with the trade and change of
he got his
scenery.
Man.
He was traded for Calvin Benjamin, 3rd round pick, or Calvin Shepard. I'm sorry, who was ironically a 3rd round pick. Two Calvins from LSU. So it was kind of cool to see him, that's equity right there. Jerry Hughes is a first-round pick, and they question he's a bust. But Jerry Hughes also taught me a lot where, whoa. A lot of these coaches are stupid and don't put these guys in position to succeed. But, he came in, man, and he was very successful. I fucking loved seeing him wreak some havoc. Yeah, man, I can't... So I was also going to suggest, did you have anything else on Jerry Hughes talk?
Nah, man. We covered it.
So...
We're good. We're moving right along here. We're almost done.
So, yeah, we got two more things. So, Eric Wood got a new job. Congrats to Eric Wood. Eric Wood, congratulations, dude. I know you're a little bummed out. I'm a fan of your podcast. I listen to almost every episode. And I know you're a little bit bummed out at first. You didn't get the job. Get a call from media all the time. But obviously you're going to be calling games with fucking John Murphy, dude. That's sweet. And what's cool about you is I've heard a lot of your interviews, and you're well articulated. You're honest. And, you've seen a lot of these defenses. You played in a lot of these offenses. Over 7 you've mentioned. So... 7 offenses in 9 years, that's a lot, It's going to be great. Congratulations to Mark Kelso for, 13 years or a long time, following Alex Van Pelt there. So, I don't know. I am so happy for Eric Wood, like really happy. I don't know what else to say on it, dude. Last topic. You ready for it?
No.
Okay. It's kind of a softball, but Sonora's Perry and the number 32. Everybody's talking about it. Clearly O.J. Simpson. And it's a story, non-story. As a kid, I'll be honest with you, man, like, I heard this discussed on WGR from Chopin Bulldog, and if you haven't tuned into their Wednesday show, get on your RSS feed and whatever podcast app you have, or go on WGR550.com. And I think it's a great, honest discussion between Mike Shope and Christopher Parker there, and really knowing where they sat with it. And I thought what Chris Parker had to say was incredible, and you should check it out. So a teaser for them. But what their producer mentioned, Sneaky Joe, what his name is, he meant, he's 10 years younger than me. I'm 34. This kid's 24. And he's like, O.J. Simpson is always it was never like about being on the Bills. And to me, I agree. It was always like bigger than the Bills. It was always like, yo, that's fucking O.J. Simpson. Like, that dude's a naked gun. Oh, by the way, he played for the Bills. You know what I mean? Like, I can't. And honestly, man, my fondest memory of O.J. Simpson.
I knew, but I never witnessed. Like, I saw his bust at Canton when I went, but like, and this was before all his indiscretions or alleged indiscretion. You know what I mean?
No shit. I didn't know you went.
Oh yeah, dude. I kind of want to go again now that like I'm old enough to like.
That's really fucking cool.
Appreciate everything. Plus, I mean, now all the guys we love growing up are in there,
Dude, and the thing is
because we old.
Yeah, OJ, man, it was just like, you and I, Deacon, I would not joke with you, but I legitimately wanted to interview OJ Simpson in prison, and I only wanted to talk football. And what I didn't want to talk about was the low-hanging fruit. And then as I'm driving, listening to Show Up and Bulldog on my way in today, even here, catching up on the show from yesterday, I just felt gross that I would even give that dude the time of day. Because I forget how quickly, like, there's a report that, before this whole murder thing with OJ, that, he punched his wife in the face. And it's real fucked up. And, to me, I've never been offended that OJ's up on the wall. I've never been offended that the number ain't used. But really, they should have just used the number right away. get over it. As in, like, that doesn't represent the fucking team. We all know that. You have to be a complete idiot to make that reach. So, Sonora's Perry, dark joke. Maybe his grandfather was like a big O.J. Simpson fan. I don't know. Like, something like that. I guess
maybe he can bring something positive
his father. I don't
to
know.
the field, and like we won't care anymore.
Yeah, dude. I don't think it's a huge deal. Don't acknowledge it, pretty much. And obviously, O.J. Simpson. There's ideas that like maybe he was framed, and again, you and I would joke, and I would go down that rabbit hole, and I've been trying to make O.J. out to be innocent since it broke when I was a kid. Like,
let's cut to the chase here.
I wish he was innocent, but
Sonora's Perry, you're either rushing for 2,000 yards or OJ gonna kill you.
Dude, that's so fucked up. He's probably a special teamer right now.
Yo. Subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Find us at numbbillsfan.com. This pile of shit is over.
Yeah, check out Punch Drunk Sports at punchdrunksports.com. Follow on Punch Drunk. I'm your host, David Palermo, and this has been a Numbbill's Fan Podcast, episode 224. Expect a podcast breaking down a little bit more off-season stuff. We have some real special shit coming in the works here. So, as always, bang it, send us messages, and
tell your friends, share our episodes, share our pages, whatever. We love you when you do that so much.
Yes.
So much.